Blake. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good morning, or good evening, as the case may be, wherever it is that you're joining us from. Karen, please ask everyone to come into this room right now, please. Thank you. As you know, we are actually in the period of time known as the 9 days now, working up to the 9th of Av, which is coming soon. And it's interesting as you read the book of Lamentations that is associated with this book, you find some interesting things in there. We sing a song at the Torah service, Eitz Chaim Chi. We talk about the tree of life, its wisdom, and all these things. And in the end, it says, "Return us, Hashivenu. Return us, O Lord, to you, and we shall return. Renew us, as in the days of old." That's how Lamentations ends after all of the rough stuff that we read up to that point. But there's a section in it also that we'll talk about this morning. And I stumbled across it again, as I do every year. And this song, which I have absolutely never played in my entire life, is found within Lamentations. And I think anyone who comes from a church background will probably know this one. It's very uncharacteristic, I would say, for a Messianic synagogue in the days leading up to the 9th of Av. But it's the song we're going to sing because it's true.
All I have needed, thy hand hath
blessing and peace that endureth. Thine own dear presence to chill and to guide. Strength for today and bright hope for tomorrow. Blessings all mine. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great your praise, our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise, our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great your praise, our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, we pour out our praise. It's your in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, we pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, we pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you. Your praise, our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. I long for your embrace every single day. Meet you in this place, see you face to face. Will you show me, reveal yourself to me? Because of
call me as your own, to know you and be known. You are holy. I fall down on my knees, and I can feel your presence here with me. Suddenly I'm lost within your beauty. I'm caught up in the wonder of your touch. Here in this moment I surrender to your love. I surrender to your grace. I surrender to the one who took my place, and I can feel your presence here with me. Suddenly I'm lost within your beauty, caught up in the wonder of your touch. Here in this moment I surrender. I can feel your presence here with me. Suddenly I'm lost within your beauty, caught up in the wonder of your touch. Here in this moment I surrender to your love. Sometimes we feel so afraid. Sometimes we feel so lonely. Sometimes we feel confused. Sometimes we feel so helpless. Don't know what to do. So hard to believe it if you never heard it. The voice of a father saying your name. You're not alone. You're not alone. I'll never leave you. Never leave you. You're not alone. You're not alone. I'll never leave you. Never leave you alone.
There's a story about Martin Luther King. He was sitting at his kitchen table one night and everybody had gone to bed in his house. And the phone rang, he got a phone call. And the voice on the other end said, "Martin, we are going to kill you and everyone that you love if you don't stop what you're doing." And he hung up the phone and he had a conversation with God. And he said, "Father, I've preached your kingdom all around the world. I've preached your kingdom and your justice all over America and the world. And I know that you're real. I absolutely believe that. But right now I'm scared. And I need to hear you. Because I don't think I've ever heard you say my name. I need to hear you say my name, Father." And in the midst of the tears and the silence, he heard the voice of his Father for the first time. And it said this: "Never alone, Martin. Never alone, Martin. I'll never leave you. I'll never leave you. Never alone, Martin. Never alone, Martin. I'll never leave you. I'll never leave you. Never alone, Martin. Never alone, Martin. I'll never leave you. I'll never leave you. We're not alone. We're not alone. You'll never leave us. You'll never leave us. We're not alone. Not alone. You'll never leave us. You'll never leave us alone.
We're not alone. We never leave. Never leave us. We're not alone. We're not alone. Never leave us. Never leave us alone.
Let's stand together.
Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la. Baruchu et Adonai, HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam, 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 Le'olam va'ed. Ya la la.
You may be seated. As we sing the watchword of Israel together.
Blessed is the name of his glorious name. Blessed is his name for all eternity. Blessed is the name of his glorious name. All eternity. All eternity. Yeshua, he is my Messiah. He is Lord of all. Yeshua, he is my Messiah. He is Lord of all. He is Lord of all. He is Lord of all, yeah.
I got an incredible choir up here. Let's stand.
Open my lips and my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, open my lips and my mouth may declare your praise. Oh, open my lips. Open my lips. Oh, open my lips. Open my lips and my mouth may declare your Adonai, Sfatai Tifta, Ufi Yagi, Tehilatecha. To the God who is faithful through all the generations, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Chanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avod, U'Mevi Goel Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo Be'achava. Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham. To the God who is faithful to resurrect the dead. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Metim atah Berav Lechoshia, Morid Chatal, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'neiman atah lehachayot Metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaMetim. To the Holy One of Israel seated above the heavens. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzivaot, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Mimkom HaMalkeinu, God who gives us this day of rest and refreshing. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. To the God restoring his presence to Zion. Baruch atah Adonai HaMachazir Shechinato LeTzion. To the God whose name is good, who is worthy of all thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha ulchanei lehodo.
the God who grants us peace. Sim shalom tova uvracha, chaim chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ya la 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 la, amecha. Barchenu avinu kulanu ke'echad, ya la la la, ya la la la. B'or panecha, ki v'or panecha natata lanu, ya la la la, ya la la la. Adonai Eloheinu, Torat Chaim, Yehavat Chesed, Ustaka Uvracha, V'rachamim V'chaim, Ya la 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 V'shalom, V'tov yiyeh v'neicha levachenu, U'levarech et kol amcha Yisrael, Uvchol et uvchol sha'a ya la 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 ya la 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 bishlomecha Baruch atah Adonai amvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. When you pray, pray like this, a prayer for the bread of tomorrow today. Avinu shebashamayim, yitkadesh mecha, tavo malchutecha, yeaseh retzonecha, kasher bashamayim gam ba'aretz, et lavenu lemachar, ten lanu hayom, lanu ahovotenu. Hashem echanu gam ananu lekayabeinu yal temienu lidei nisayon im tatzilenu min hara ki lecha mamlecha le'atiferet le'omei olamim for the sake of our Master Yeshua, in his merit and his virtue, may the sayings of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be favorable, be favorable, be favorable. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, the King of the universe, who's given us the way of salvation in Messiah Yeshua. Amen. You may be seated. There is a link there on the screen to support the work of Shalom Macon through your gifts, your offerings, your giving, and we are thankful for it. We're doing the best we can to make it meaningful in Macon, Georgia, the state of Georgia, the United States, and other places around the world. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat
Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 O Rabbeinu Chai, O Rabbeinu Chai. O Rabbeinu, O Rabbeinu, O Rabbeinu Chai. O Rabbeinu Chai, O Rabbeinu Chai. O Rabbeinu, O Rabbeinu, O Rabbeinu Chai. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat.
Get them stirred up a little more, Rabbi. Thank you so much for that wonderful, wonderful worship today. Such heartfelt, and you are never alone. None of us. And that's a great message for us to take away from here. Especially those who are joining us online. You are not alone either. We're here for you, with you. We'd like to welcome Deanna Hazinga
Huizinga from Louisville, Kentucky.
A Jacinda Chaplin from Albuquerque, New Mexico. MJ Belko from Michigan. Cheryl Rabilo from Mumbai. Bernie and Nadine Bach from Clarksville, Tennessee. The Jones family from Ohio. And Leslie Rose from Fort Erie, Canada, joining us today. Also joining us is people from Israel, England, and Japan, and at least 27 states. So thank y'all so much for joining with us. Today at 1:30, we will have Torah Club. Today at 1:30, we will not have Kids Hebrew. So kids, y'all are off the hook today, but gentlemen, tonight, 7 p.m., be here or meet us online for Torah on Tap, chapter 12 of The Way of Life. That's what we were supposed to do last month, but Darren played sick, so we didn't get it. So, and then coming up on the 24th is our Mamma Mia, our 17th anniversary celebration. That will be at 7 p.m. And on the 25th, we'll have Adeline and Ian Tran, Bat Ha-Amim, Brit Ha-Amim, thanks, Rabbi.
And it starts at 10:30.
Starts at 10:30, so mark your calendars for next week to instead of 11, 10:30. Instead of 11, 10:30. Instead of 11, 10:30. All right. Also this week, starting Wednesday night at sundown through Thursday, sundown is the ninth of Av major fast. So that's no food, no water, no relations, no leather shoes. If you need more information, see Dr. David. He'll be glad to fill you in on that.
Let me say one thing about that. We're going down to Sharei Israel. This is a great moment for all of us, the Messianic Jewish and traditional Jewish community, to celebrate this fast day together. So Rabbi Rubenstein at Sharei Israel always extends this invitation to us, as well as for other holidays, which is a really beautiful and wonderful statement of the Jewish community in Macon, Georgia. However, I do need you to send your name and how many will attend if you plan to attend the reading of Lamentations, Echa, coming up. You can send that to Linda at shalommacon.org. They need your name to put it on the security list for the security officer who will be there. So please send your name if you plan to hear the reading. It's chanted in Hebrew. You follow along in English if you don't know it. Linda at Shalom Macon. I plan to attend the reading of Lamentations.
Confirmation. So everybody else, send yours in. We have 12.5K subscribers on our YouTube page now. So please like, share, and subscribe. If you've not done that yet, please do. And if you've not checked out our Shalom at Home page lately, please go and check it out. We have done some renovations to it. Thank you, Nita. And dig around in there so you can figure out your way in there. And last but not least, Steve Wortham. Would you stand up for just a minute? Guys, this is Steve Wortham. Steve has had the pleasure of being married to Karen for 11 years today. So congratulations. Karen, you can stand up too. So. But, I forgot one other thing. So thanks, guys. Steve helps me out with the computer and stuff in Torah Club. And if you are not a member of Torah Club, we have a new track coming up in October. It's called The Narrow Path. If you are interested, this is the track we're going to take in the Torah Club here. So if you are interested in that, I have some pamphlets that I can give you so you can look it over and see if it'll be a good fit for you. So, Shabbat Shalom.
Director of Torah Club, I can tell you that if you're a disciple of Yeshua, it will be a good fit for you. You won't like what you always hear about being a disciple walking the narrow path, but it will be a good fit for you. If you're not a disciple of Yeshua, it will be a good fit for you because you're going to learn some pretty amazing things about what he said, who he really was, what he really meant when he said the things that he said. So, everybody should be in Torah Club. Kids, let's go to Shabbat school. Excellent work up there today on the rhythm section. Excellent work, excellent work, excellent work, excellent work. Yisimcha Elohim ke Ephraim, v'chi Menashe. May the Lord make you like Ephraim and Menashe. Yisameach Elohim ke Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah. May the Lord make you like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. Father, we ask for your blessings upon our children of their safety, their health, and their good spirits. Father, we ask that you will bless them and help their parents to teach them in the way in which they should go. Let this generation be one that rises to greatness for the kingdom in the days ahead. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face. Let's do it in Hebrew. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, yo'er Adonai ponav elecha v'yihuneka, yis Adonai ponav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom. Good job. Okay, you can walk to where you're going. This is the Shabbat before Tisha B'Av. It's called the Shabbat Chazon. It's the Shabbat of vision. That's how Isaiah's Haftorah opens. There is a word, we read, obviously you just heard, we read the book of Lamentations. There is a word that opens the book of Lamentations. The word is Echa. It's a word and it is a question. The word Echa means how. How. And Jeremiah, the weeping prophet, standing and seeing the ruins, the first thing out of his mouth here is a question. Echa. How? How does the city sit alone that was so full of people? How? And I want you to notice that word of, in Judaism, the books are named by their first word, that's how we know it. It's obviously not Lamentations. That word gave the book its name. The book is Echa. The book is named after the question, how? There is a famous kina, a liturgical poem. We have various kinot in plural, kina, liturgical poem. It's chanted. There are a lot of these, but some very famous ones that go along with the reading of Lamentations on Tisha B'Av. And there are some questions that are asked in that kina that would make, people nervous when they think about these questions being asked of God, His creation challenging him in such a direct way. How could you do this, God? How could you rush your wrath upon us? How could you pronounce such harsh words upon us? How could you abandon your sanctuary in your anger? How could you aim that anger at us? How could you reject us? Those are the questions. They're prayers, really. They're in the liturgy, and they're sanctioned questions. They've been chanted and sung for many, many centuries. But the rabbis actually ask a question about these things. Do we have the right to talk to God that way? Because there's another teaching in Talmud, Berachot 54a, if you want to read it yourself. It says, you're required to bless God for the good and for the bad. It's a requirement. When tragedy comes, you don't argue. You say, Baruch Dayan Ha'emet. Blessed is the true judge. You hear terrible news, that's a blessing that you say on your lips. That's what Talmud says. Baruch Dayan Ha'emet. Blessed is the true judge. So which one is it? Do we bless? Do we question? The general principle drawn from the Talmud is that one recites a blessing for bad that befalls him just as one does for the good, and you can't say the blessing for bad in hopes that it is going to reveal something good. You just have to say, Baruch Dayan Ha'emet. That's the general principle. There is an exception that's carved out that is attached to Tisha B'Av and these kinot and things like this. Jeremiah, the prophet of God, is asking the questions, and so it is said that in a time of unbelievable tragedy like that, the questions are permitted. Echa is an acceptable request, an approved time on Tisha B'Av. But man, is that possible? Seriously. That only when the news is on the level of the temple destruction, exile-inducing sadness, then we can ask God questions? How can this be? Is that really the only time? Because I'll tell you the truth, and you know it. There are so many moments in your life when the questions just come out. You face something hard, or you watch someone else face something hard, and these questions come up, and they sound like this: God, Echa. Echa, God, how? How can this be? How is this okay? How could you? And I know what Berachot 54a says. I know we are supposed to bless God for the bad and the good, and I can understand it and I believe it, but anyone who has ever stood inside a tragedy knows that is easier said than done, way easier said than done. I stood inside one 12 days ago. You know that. My nephew Gabriel has a spinal cord injury in the hospital in Atlanta with a fractured vertebrae and paralysis, and the timing of it all falling into this pool in these 3 weeks, right in this heavy season of the calendar, in this heavy, hot summer. Man, I've never felt the 3 weeks quite like this before. But I promise you, that is not what I'm bringing you today. Last week, I stood here and wept with you. And today, I want to bring you something that I found instead when I went looking, because the 9th of Av is almost here. It is a day of sadness. Lamentations is sadness. This week, as we said, we'll go down to the synagogue. We'll sit on the floor. We have a meal, very traditional homes of ashes and water and egg. Old bread. We remember the destruction of the temple and the baseless hatred that caused it, and we look around at our world right now and we ask, has anything actually changed? The wars, the hatred, and we lay all this ancient grief on top of the present grief that we feel because they still fit together, and we'll pray. But before we get there, I want to show you what's buried in the book. As you know, I always run to Rabbi Jonathan Sachs for insight, and here again, he does not disappoint. And I can tell you, as I thought about this week, I've put him by far in the top 3 of the people I plan to hang with in the world to come. Just to hang. Just to give him the hug I never got to give him here. But he said this, there's a difference between optimism and hope. Optimism is a passive virtue. Hope is an active one. Optimism is the belief that things will get better. Hope is the belief that together we can make things better. And then he applied it to the Jewish people, and he said, knowing our past, no Jew can be an optimist. But Jews, despite an incredible history of suffering, have never, ever given up hope. Never given up hope. You think about what that means. This is to a people who watched temples burn twice, a people driven into exile, hunted, expelled, slaughtered across centuries. If anyone on earth, I challenge anyone to find a better candidate. If anyone on earth has the right to despair, surely it is this people, the Jewish people. That is a fact of history. Judaism refused, however, to let tragedy have the last word. And so Rabbi Sachs argues that hope in Judaism is not just some kind of wishful thinking. It is the conviction that because God is faithful, the future is never closed. The future is never closed. Now, open Lamentations with that in your head, because Lamentations is a dreadful book. I mean it. It is dreadful. Read it. Well, you will soon. But read it again just for fun. Chapter after chapter of devastation, starvation, ruin, mothers weeping, death, destruction, an abandoned city, and it never softens like it's just rah, 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 rah. And then you get to chapter 3, verse 21. Right in the middle of the book is this. This I call to mind, therefore I have hope. That's the translation, but the Hebrew says, Zot ashiv al libi. Zot ashiv el libi. This I return to my heart. Libi, my heart. Jeremiah says, this I bring back to my heart. Therefore I have hope. The steadfast love of the Lord has not ceased. His compassions do not fail. They're new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. That's where it is. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I will hope in him. The Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the soul that seeks him. It's good that a man should quietly hope for the salvation of the Lord. Every one of us knows those words. We sing them. Great is thy faithfulness. These new morning mercies. We put them on coffee mugs and T-shirts and bumper stickers. And they live in lamentations, surrounded by death and destruction. Everything before that passage is ruin. Everything after that passage is ruin. And right in the middle is this. Now, where did Jeremiah find that hope? Because he could not find it by looking around. Look around, and that's the book of Lamentations. All I see is ashes, victorious Babylonians starving in the streets. His eyes provided nothing for him. And nothing in his circumstances changed from chapter 2 to chapter 3. And the rabbis, again, they point to this verb, zot ashiv. This I call back, this I return. This is Jeremiah's intentional act. He has to reach into his memory. He has to pull something back into consciousness because everything around him screams despair, but his memory recalls the mercy and the covenant and the past acts of redemption and God who was faithful in Egypt, who keeps his word to Abraham, who's been faithful before. And so hope for him in this text is an act of remembering. Hope is an act of remembering. It is not a mood that you just stumble into. It's not something that just comes over you. And it doesn't actually depend on the news getting any better. It's just something you do. Jeremiah forces himself to recall to his heart what he knows to be true about God because everything around him says otherwise. And after this, he says, it is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. Who loves to wait quietly while you're in distress? Who loves to just wait for God to show up and do something? Who loves it? It's good, it says. Nothing has changed when he writes that line. Nothing. Famine is still there. He's not saying, hey, wait a minute, just give it a second. The cavalry's right around the corner, guys. Just chill for like 10 seconds. He's going to show up. You can count on that. Be hopeful. That's not what he says. He is saying, wait, and the only reason I can give you is because God is faithful. We call it's emunah in Hebrew, right? We say faith, but it's faithfulness, steadfastness. It's faith expressed sometimes through just sitting in patient endurance. It is emunah when you are patiently waiting and nothing's happening. The hope of Lamentations is not optimism. Optimism looks at the situation and just says, maybe it'll get better. That was my best imitation of my grandmother. It would have been more like, oi, It could be worse. Jeremiah's hope rests on one thing, and that is the character of God. Man, that's not easy, though. The rabbis added something about this terrible day as well. They taught that when the temple was burning, the Shekhinah, the divine presence of God, was going out with Israel. The divine presence went into exile. God did not stand and watch his people being marched away and all this. He walked into Babylon with them, into darkness, the Shekhinah in exile. And where Israel got scattered, the presence of God went with. The truth is that even in despair, God has not left and he does not leave. That's why we sang, "Never Alone, Martin." Sometimes we feel confused, but we're never alone. That's the theology of the Shekhinah, walking into the fire. Now, let me take you somewhere else. There's another story that follows the same lamentation structure, except in reverse. Lamentations is what I would call a hope sandwich, right? Terrible on both ends, hope in the middle. Chapter after grief and grief, buried in the center, we have this piece of hope. But there's another story that goes the other way. It starts beautiful, turns absolutely terrible and unbelievably tragic, and then becomes, again, more beautiful than anyone could have imagined. Can you think of the story I might be thinking of? There are a lot of them, but I'll give you this one. I'm talking about the cross. Think about how that looked from the inside. Everything was good. Everything was rising. It was on a beautiful trajectory. They're laying down palm leaves, for goodness sake. They're chanting, "Hosanna to the God of David, Son of David, Hosanna, save us, save us. The King is here. This is the moment. This is it. Come and rule." And within a week, he was dead. Beaten dead. Bloodied, flesh ripped off of his body. Hung out to dry on a cross. Bled out, stabbed through. Laid in a tomb cut out of a rock. Thrown into the cave. A stone sealed over the mouth of it. It's done. And by every measure that a human being can take, it was over at that point, and the disciples knew it. They knew it. They huddled together behind closed doors. They're terrified. What are we going to do now? They know we were with him. What are we going to do? They imagined, I'm sure, every kind of future. This was not part of what they imagined for their lives. And I wonder about the questions that were in that room, but I guarantee you, I can tell you how some of them started. Echa! How, God? We gave everything here. How could you let this happen? How? And there was silence. God did not answer that question when they asked it. And anyone who has ever prayed from the floor knows that silence. And then, on the first day of the week, of course it's a woman who goes and starts the solution. She goes to the tomb while it's dark, and out of the darkness, out of the tragedy, out of the most horrendous thing that ever happened, Yeshua appears to her alive. And everything turns, right? Everything turns. This I recall to my mind. Therefore I have hope. The steadfast love of the Lord has not ceased. His compassions do not fail. The tomb was certainly not the end of the story. It was the start. And it was not the plan that anyone expected. It was not supposed to go that way as far as any of them understood. They asked the question, Echa, God, how could you let this happen? Heaven did not answer. And then, all of a sudden, there's more hope than anyone could have ever imagined because the impossible happened. This guy came back from the dead. And so did a bunch of other people. That was God's answer, because the things he said would come to pass came to pass, because that's how God is. And on the other side of that resurrection, they didn't have to ask the question anymore. It wasn't easy, by the way. You can read all of their stories and know that it didn't all of a sudden become like, a birthday party. But they could see what God had been doing the whole time and why, and they had the luxury now of looking back and saying, thank you, God, now I understand. Now I see it. Blessed is the true judge, right? Baruch Dayan ha'emet. Now I get it. That's a beautiful place to stand, but most of us usually are not standing there. We are standing on the Saturday between death and resurrection. Many of us are standing in chapter 3 of Lamentations with bad stuff on either side, and it is that place above all places where these words matter most. When you are down, when you are hurting, that is when you say it. Not because you even feel it, but because you're reaching back into your memory, to your mind, calling back to your heart on purpose. This I recall, God, I have hope. Your steadfast love has not ceased. Your compassion will not fail me. They're new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The Lord, you are my portion, says my soul. Therefore, I must hope in you. And Lamentations says, let him put his mouth in the dust. Perhaps there may be hope. Let him put his mouth in the dust. That is a man face down or a woman face down on the ground. That's as low as it gets. And the text says, do not rebuke him for being there, her. Allow him to be there. It says sometimes that is where you are, mouth in dust. Even there, perhaps there may be hope. That is why Baruch Dayan ha'emet does not mean what people sometimes think it means. Blessing the true judge does not mean we cannot mourn. It does not mean we do not hurt. It doesn't mean we don't sit on the floor and weep. It does not mean we cannot ask God. Echa. God allows us there. He wrote it into this book. Jeremiah captured it. Perhaps sometimes we have to be down here. But the text does not leave us on the floor. We can sit on the floor. On Tisha B'Av, we sit on the floor on purpose because grief gets that time. But then we must stand up. And this is the next part that's hard for me to say this week of all weeks, with my nephew lying in the hospital, unable to move his legs at present, but I'm going to say it anyway. When we are sitting down, we must stand up and walk. We trust that whatever is ahead, that God will give us the step. And you know what? In Gabriel's case, even if it is not a literal step, God will give him a step, and then the next one, and then the next one, because what is true today will not necessarily be true tomorrow. What I face today does not have to be my tomorrow. I do not know what God will do. I don't. Blessed is the true judge. He knows. He loves, he cares, he nurtures, he guides. And as I said, the future is never closed. There is science behind all of this, psychological studies, physiological studies on what hope does to a human being. I'll just summarize it by saying, guess what? You're a lot better off with some hope. There are the people who live in the surrounding chapters of Lamentations, and there are those who live in section 321 of Lamentations. And these same circumstances, same ruins, different life. The different person who forces him or herself to recall to mind, to recall to the heart the faithfulness of God. And that is Israel's testimony to the world. That's what Tisha B'Av teaches. A people who buried the temple twice have never buried our hope. Hope. Hope for the coming of Messiah, yes, above all, but hope now, in real life, in hospital rooms, in ruins. Because what is life without hope? And I'll close with this. Life is an incredible gift. Incredible gift. This world is an incredible gift. It's so beautiful. And in so many ways, it's also incredibly tragic. Both of those are true at the same time, and you know it because you live here. Now, if you wanted to, you could read the whole human story as one more of these shapes. There was a Garden of Eden. It was good. Everything was perfect. And then it went to hell. Dark, death. We got this world with death and hurt and accidents and paralysis and all the things that so easily blind us to all the good. And on the far side of this, yes, there's restoration. There's a kingdom, the world where everything is finally made right, and I believe in that world. I believe it's coming. I pray for it, every tear wiped away. But watch what happens if this is the whole story. If Eden was good, this life in the middle is bad, and the kingdom is good again, then this life is nothing but something to get through. Nothing but something we survive. And there is a kind of hope that grows out of that reading. And it's completely the wrong kind of hope. It is the hope that says, I just want to escape it all. Get me out of here. This world is a waiting room. None of this matters. That's the wrong way to see it. Life is not a tragedy sandwich. This life, the one you woke up into this morning, it's not the bad middle of the story in any imaginable way, ever. It's the gift. Even in the depths of darkness, even in the destruction and the sadness, God did not put you here just to wait to leave. That's ridiculous. He put you here to live and to love and to stand up and do all you can with Him right here now. Our hope will never be escape. Our hope is always and only that we have a Creator who is faithful. And that's hard. I can't lie. It's hard. that destruction is never final, that he's always working behind the scenes, even when we don't see it. That's got to be the heartbeat of faith. And our lives, no, they definitely do not always look like we imagine they should. And I think everyone in the room can say to that, Amen. I agree. But we do not look around at the tragedy and fix our eyes on these things, do we? And stay seated on the floor. And we don't just settle for the optimism to say, "Oy, maybe it'll get better." Some vague feeling that it'll just work out. We hope actively. We recall our minds and our hearts. We hope for the faithfulness of God, and we stand up. And this week, when we sit on the floor and we chant Echa, and we ask questions about that and whatever else, you are allowed to do that. And when that day ends, you stand up. There is a day for lamenting, and there are 364 other ones to get up and walk. I talked with my brother, and he and Katie and Gabriel, they got transferred over to this Shepherd Center. It's a godsend. It's a wonderful opportunity and option for his therapy, but they had been in a brand new hospital in Atlanta for 9 days prior to that. Choa, this beautiful hospital, and light and bright, and everyone's happy, and all of a sudden they're transferred into this dreary, dark place with a lot of people in terrible circumstances. And Katie said it was so hard. And I promised I wouldn't cry this time, so I'm not going to. She said it was so hard. And Jonathan told me the next day, he said, that night we finally had the conversation. Gabriel coming to realizations and just the sobs of anguish. And the question, Echa, how? And they all had it together, and they wept, and they hugged, and they held, and they wept. It was their sitting on the floor conversation. If you have to suffer, it's better to suffer with someone. But they had that. And in it, God broke something open to recognize we're as low as we can get. We are at the bottom. And God, this is the thing I keep returning to, that you are faithful. Kelly and I FaceTimed with Gabriel last night. They finally gave him a device that allows him to use his phone because he can't use his fingers. So he was finally able to check his text and FaceTime with Aunt Kelly and Uncle D. And we FaceTimed. And man, I can't even believe this kid that is my nephew teaching me, telling me, Uncle D, I know that God didn't want this for me. And I know that he was with me. I said, he's always with you, Gabriel. He said, no, he was with me on July 5th. And he's with me now. And he said, I already told you, Uncle D, I told you I'm a fighter. I don't have anything I can do looking back. I can only go forward. And you know, when that injury happened, I asked God and I said these very words, He's 17. Echa. You know what I said to myself last night? He's 17. Hallelujah. God, you can do something. And I believe with my whole heart that he can be restored. I do. But I also know that if getting up off the floor looks a little different than it did before July 5th, I know that he can do it. And you know what else he said? This is the hard part. He said, Uncle D, Aunt Kelly, the thing that's gotten me through is just the support of everyone else. Hearing from them, knowing them. I said, I know you're famous now, Gabriel. He said, no, seriously. Knowing that everyone's thinking about me and praying for me, sending me messages, it makes all the difference. So please keep doing that. Please do that. This I recall to my heart, and therefore I have hope. My dad told me this week, we were talking, he said, my dad he's such a sage of a man. He said, I refuse to believe that what is today is forever. His compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Lamentations 3:23, great is your faithfulness. And sometimes that is our only hope. My friends, I hope that we can have hope. That is my hope. Shabbat Shalom. Let's stand together. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר וראשית, שלא עשינו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלך המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחתינו. אין עוד. ונאמר, וחיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. On that day, the Lord will be one, and his name will be one. Now may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you his peace. B'Shem Yeshua. Yivarechech Adonai v'yishmarecha. Yo'er Adonai ponav elecha v'yihuneka. Yisa Adonai ponav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom. Shabbat shalom, my friends. Please do not forget, if you plan to attend down at the synagogue, please send your RSVP to linda@shalommacon.org. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. B'Shem Yeshua Meshachenu Halechem HaChayim. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who creates the fruit of the vine, brings forth bread from the earth, and has given us Yeshua the Messiah, the bread of life. Good Shabbos.